This is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. And as always, I want to thank you for joining the podcast. You could have chosen to be anywhere else, but you came here. And I appreciate you for it. So today, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of breakfast this morning. Today's episode is for a very specific group of people. The ones who are on the older side, 40s, 50s, 60s. The ones who thought or tried to do everything right. The ones who worked hard, raised families, paid taxes, showed up every day, and then life punched them square in the face. Maybe you got laid off, maybe your industry changed, maybe your savings disappeared, maybe you made incredible financial mistakes, or maybe all of those things happened at once. Dave Ramsey has a phrase that he uses. He calls it the wilderness. And the wilderness is that season between where you were and where you're trying to go. It's the place where you don't know how long you're going to be here. You just know you haven't arrived yet. And let me tell you something. The wilderness is brutal when you're in your 50s. Because society tells us that by now, we should have it all figured out. We should have the retirement account stacked, the paid off house, the stable career, the vacations, the grandchildren or the older children who are set and ready, the security. But life doesn't care what age you are. Layoffs don't ask how old you are. Companies don't stop restructuring because you're 55. Medical bills don't disappear because you've worked for 30 years. Life can change overnight. And when it does, you find yourself asking questions you never thought you'd ask. How am I going to pay rent? Can I ever retire? Who's going to hire someone my age? Now that I've run out of money, what now? What happens if I do run out of money and I haven't gotten there yet? Those questions eat at your soul, especially when you've spent your entire life being the provider. There's something deeply painful about going from being needed to feeling invisible, sending out hundreds and hundreds of resumes, watching younger candidates get the interviews, hearing words like overqualified, or worse, hearing nothing at all. Or the one that I hear all the time, oh my God, your interview was fantastic. You're everything that we were looking for. However, ... And sometimes you just get ghosted. It's almost like you never sent them anything. Don't confuse your employment status with your value. They're not the same thing. Your paycheck isn't your identity. Your job title isn't your character. Your LinkedIn profile is not your purpose. You're still the same person who solved problems, led teams, raised kids, helped people, built relationships, mentored hundreds. Those skills didn't disappear because someone eliminated a position. Now, let's talk about what you can actually do. First, accept reality, not defeat, reality. If your old career isn't opening doors right now, don't spend years pretending nothing has changed. Adapt, pivot, and learn. And that's the phase I'm in right now, trying to figure out what that is. Your pride can't become more expensive than your bills. Your pride can't become more expensive than your bills. The season we're in right now, there's just not anything to move to. Those of you in this season know this. We're not scared of work. We've worked 30 plus years. You think all of a sudden we're scared to work? Absolutely not. We just can't find anything. So you keep searching. What can you do now? Figure out how to reduce your financial burn rate. This isn't forever. It's survival. Cut every single thing you can. Negotiate every single thing you can. Sell everything that you don't need. There's no shame in making hard decisions. I'm trying to figure out now what I can cut because it's very evident that I'm not going to be able to pick up the pieces and start running. I have to make tough decisions because the timeline is not under my control. There's no shame in making hard decisions. The shame would be refusing to adapt because you're worried about what someone else might think. And this is hard because you and your spouse may be on different pages. I'm in a situation where my spouse is still working. I don't have work, haven't had work for quite a while. So the decisions that I'm willing to make because of the season that I'm in are different than the decisions that she's willing to make because she's not in the place I'm at. We're in the same space, but not the same place. Now that's a bar. The next thing you have to do is not to wait for that perfect opportunity. I gave that away several months ago. Create multiple smaller ones. Working on that as well. Consult, drive, teach, coach, freelance, self, sell, deliver, manage projects, do contract work. I've thrown my hat in all these rings. Nothing's taken off yet. Reached out to people for freelance work. Nothing's taken off yet. But I have to keep trying. That's all I have. Every single day that I have breath in my body, I've got to try. Is it possible that I try all of this and nothing sticks? Absolutely. But what are the alternatives? Nothing's going to stick if I just sit here on the proverbial porch and wait for somebody to drive by and hit me upside the head with something. You got to keep trying. There's no guarantees that something's going to stick. So I'm not sitting here trying to sell you pipe dreams. You may do all of this and nothing happens. But you also may do all of this and something great happen. The only thing I can guarantee is if you don't do any of it, none of it's going to happen. Maybe some of these stick, but it doesn't become your forever job. It's okay because it can buy you time. And sometimes, and many times, time is exactly what we need. Next, protect your mind. And this may be the hardest one because unemployment doesn't just attack your bank account. It attacks your confidence. Every rejection email, every ghosted interview, every we've decided to move in another direction, it chips away at you. And the more you hear it, the angrier you get. The first one you may brush off. The 100th one, you start punching pillows if you haven't already. Because now you're like, what the entire bleep is going on here? That's when you fight back. Exercise, pray, talk to people if you want, or avoid people, whatever works for you. Volunteer if you need to. If you have time on your hands and you're sitting there staring at four walls, help somebody else out. If you can afford to get there. If it's right up the street, go volunteer up the street. Stay connected. Because isolation is where hopelessness grows. And you don't want that to fester and start to grow. Because that's when terrible decisions are made. And finally, remember this. Some of the strongest people you've ever met have a chapter that they never thought they would survive. And maybe this is yours. Maybe the wilderness isn't where your story ends. Maybe it's where your story changes. If you're listening to this today, and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're wondering whether it's too late, whether anyone still believes in you, whether you have anything left to offer, hear me clearly. Your experience still matters. Your wisdom still matters. Your work ethic still matters. And your story is not over. Not even close. The wilderness is uncomfortable. It's exhausting. It's lonely. But it's also temporary. Everything in life is temporary. If you're flying high right now and you're listening to this like, this guy's crazy, I'm doing well. I've got 20 homes that I'm renting out. I'm about to go on vacation and buy a vacation home. I'm about to fly across the country in my private jet. I'm about to go out here and just sell these stock options and put that money into something else so I can grow it even further. And you think it can never happen to you? Wake up. This can happen to anyone. And you need to make sure you have the tools necessary to survive it. Because if you're thriving right now, you better get on your knees and thank your higher power, because all of that can disappear in an instant. Just like those of us on the other side, we can get back in the saddle in an instant. That I know is true. But in the meantime, for those of us that are in the wilderness, keep walking. One interview, one application, one phone call, one opportunity, one day at a time, because eventually the wilderness gives way to the promised land. Thanks for listening to Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who's quietly carrying the weight of starting over. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give another person is the reminder that they're not walking through the wilderness alone. There's some tough seasons out there for all of us. And sometimes it feels like you're never going to get out. I had a job opportunity that looked like was going to be a slam dunk. Finally, the slam dunk that I've been waiting for. I've been out here shooting 3-point bricks for 14 months. A couple free throws that were missed. A couple of bank shots that were missed. But this was a slam dunk. And anyone that saw me play basketball in the early 90s knows if you threw it near the rim, I was slamming it in. This seemed like one of those easy alley-oop passes. But yet again, I received the terrible news that they're going to go in a different direction. So it was important that I did this episode today. Because I went through my angry phase last night and said, how in the world is a slam dunk going to be missed. I didn't miss anything. I dunked it. But I guess somebody had a prettier dunk. Or maybe somebody did shoot a three-pointer all net. Whatever the case was, this wasn't lined up for me. So what does that mean? I do what I've been doing. Never give up. I know what season I'm in, and I know why I'm in this season. And I know the challenges and the things that I've done and the things that have happened to me to put me right here. I can't change any of those. I can't change any. Trust me, if I could, I would have changed these things several years ago. And this podcast you'd be listening to right now would be Everybody is Squeaky Clean. So understand that thought you have in your head right now, that feeling you have in your heart, I have the same thoughts and the same feeling. So you're not alone. And I know people tell me that all the time. There's other people like that, and you're not by yourself. And I'm not telling you that to make you feel any better, because I know it doesn't make me feel any better. Because you're thinking what I'm thinking. Yeah, but those people don't pay my bills. They're not helping me with my bills. They're not helping me get back to work. They're not giving me job opportunities. They don't care. They're just moving on with their lives. I have all of those thoughts. So understand that when I say you're not alone, everything that you're thinking, everything that you're feeling, I'm feeling. And I'm thinking it. And probably even worse than what you're thinking. And the reason I created this platform is so that people can understand that it's okay to have those thoughts and feelings. But what you need to do is keep moving forward. You keep moving forward. Your mama's not going to help you. Your daddy's not going to help you. Your friends ain't going to help you. Your siblings ain't going to help you. You are the only one that is going to help you. Because they have their own beliefs, their own understandings, their own thoughts. And they find themselves thinking that they can help you, but they're not inside your head. Only you are. So figure out what you need to do. And whatever it is that you need to do is what you need to focus on. But all the while, just understand that all those thoughts you're having, someone else is also having them. And that is what gets me through sometimes. It's like, okay, I'm not crazy. Someone else out here is battling the same demons, the same struggles, the same challenges. That is what you need to hang your hat on. And that's what's going to get you from this hour to the next. Get yourself out of the wilderness. One step at a time. Whatever that looks like. As always, this is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed week, and I will talk to you soon. Make sure to share this with people that need to understand that they are not alone. Talk to you soon.